of the day and the last call of the week here. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at crude oil, and natural gas. We'll take a look here at the indexes, the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P. And then we'll take a look here at one of my favorite trades, the TQQQ and NVDA. At the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell a stock, commodity, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have Bitcoin daily chart all blown up here nicely. Okay, we can see here what's going on. Now, yesterday here we made this high of 98,305. Today we made that high of 98,615, so we made just a little bit higher high, okay? So what we're looking here, if it keeps right on running up here, we're going to take this price channel right here, take it right across, and this is the target that we're looking for on the upside, is 99,765 level, okay? And then what we'll do is we'll just bring this price channel here right across. Okay, we're going to take a look at there. You're looking at 100,765. And then we'll bring this price channel right across here. We're looking right there at that 102,875 level. And then we do is just work the candles up here. Okay, you got 104,920. We'll come up here. You got 106,570. We'll come to the top of this candle here. You're looking at 106,949. And then we'll come up here. We're looking at 107,485. And then here's the key candle right here is going to be this 108,960. Now, again, if you can bust above that, then obviously your retest there is 110. Now, we crack above that 110.50. Okay, then you go into 115, 120 will be very, very much in the old cards, okay? But again, we got to just keep it on rolling here gradually. Now, you can see how nicely this 8-day, you crossed over the 21-day, the 50-day, and the old Hondo over here, okay? So we're rolling up very nice. So even if this sells down, say Sunday, it comes down and it sells down right down to this 8 SMA here at the 95,529. That's fine, okay? As long as it holds it like it did here, okay? Here, long as it holds that 8 SMA here, that you have buying opportunity here to take it higher, okay? So remember, we're in a trading market here, not a buy and hold. We're in a trading market. Now, the Dow's up there about almost 600. The NASDAQ's over 300 because they had a really good jobs number there today. So it isn't like what people are thinking, oh, everything's falling apart. I don't see it. Where I live, man, it's so busy. You got to plan your times of going out in traffic. You know what I'm saying? So here's what we're watching on the downside. This is going to be very, very key level. It's going to be this 8-day, 95,528. If that's lost, we look to yesterday's low, 94,635. Then we'll come to the bottom of this candle right here. You look at 93,445. And then we're looking at this 100-day at 93,089. That's going to be very, very crucial. See how the nice double bottom action we have here? Holding the 8-day and moving right on up here. So what we're watching, obviously on the downside, is this 8-day. If it's lost, then we look to the 100-day. As long as it holds, either one of these on a closing basis, this is still a good buying opportunity here to take it higher. Okay. Now RSI, well, as I say, we still got 67. You got plenty of room to run. We had that nice positive divergence going on here. Your green is over your red, but we're still, rallying on the way up. We're not here up on the top level like we were here. We're already just kind of like in the mid-range kind of a situation. Okay. So what you want to do is just watch today's high then. That's a 98,615 level. And then we do just bring these price channels right across. Those are going to be your upside resistance and upside price targets. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil and at natural gas. Okay, here we have crude oil, here we have natural gas. Now you can see here crude oil. Remember, OPEC is dumping a lot of oil on the market here as of May 1st, which was yesterday, okay? So just always remember that. It looks like what they're trying to do is flood the market, but they have the biggest share of it, okay? A lot of the other companies will not be producing oil because they're not going to do it at that price. So they're still going to make their money kind of a situation. And just always remember, too, T-Man does not like this $70, $80, $100 oil. He wants that $50, $60 oil, and that's a key situation. Now, remember, we have this retest down here. Always keep your eye on that 55.12 because if this is lost, you're going to go to 53, and then we're going to come down here to 50 and possibly even 47 level, okay? Now, I'm not saying that's where it's going. As long as we hold the 55.12, we're in good shape. But again, if that's lost here, then we can gonna go much lower. Now, I've been pointing out here, we had this looks sort of like a big pole in a bear flag situation. You couldn't get through the 21-day, and then down she comes. Now, yesterday we had kind of like a relief kind of a situation, and then today it's kind of like a big nothing burger, okay? So on the downside, what we're watching is going to be watching today's lows. That's that 57.74. Then we're going to come down to the bottom of this candle here. You're looking at 56.39. And then we have your retest at 55.12. Now, on the upside, we want to watch yesterday's high. That's 59.50. And then we're going to come up today's high, looking at 59.87. And we'll look at the top of this candle, 60.43. And then here's what your really big target is going to be this 8-day at that 60.71 and your 21-day at 61.61. Now, this is a very, very bearish pattern. There's really nothing bullish about this unless some kind of a catalyst will come in and we get above that 8-day and that 21-day, then we could rip maybe to that 50-day kind of a situation. But right now, this is very, very bearish kind of a situation. Your green went below your red, which means this is momentum there to the downside. So I really don't see nothing. So we got to see how this all shakes out there Sunday night kind of situation. But we do have a bottoming tail. That's the only positive end of this. So let's just see how this is all going to shake out. But that 8-day on the upside and that 21-day is going to be everything. Okay, natural gas, just the opposite. We had this really big double top situation and big, huge sell-off all the way down to 285. And that's a pretty good sell-off from 490, okay? So especially for natural gas. Now, you can see here where we just gapped up. Now the 8-day is curling up nicely. We're above the 21-day, and now we're headed towards the 100-day. So this is your first upside target is going to be right here, okay? You're looking at 370. That's going to be your target. And if we get above that, then we're going to look at 379. Now, if we can get above all that there, what we're going to do is we're looking at the top of this candle here, looking at 382. We'll come up here, you're looking at 393, and then we'll come up right on top of this candle here. You're looking at that 3.15, and then we have your retest there at 420, okay? And then we get above that, then we'll come right back up here to that 425 level. But we have to get through the 100-day, have to get through the 50-day in order to do that. Now, downside, this 21-day is everything. You're sitting at 3.38. You need to hold that, and then we need to hold this 8-day at 3.25. Now, when those futures open Sunday night, this 8-day is going to be pushing up higher. If it can push up above that 21-day, that'd be a positive, and maybe it could go higher. But again, we got a lot of resistance with the 100-day and that 50 SMA here. So for me, it just was a nice scalp long today. UNG, it got as low as 1766. I didn't get the bottom of that. But again, I got in at 1775, and I'm ready out of the trade. It got 1824. I was out of there at 1820 level. Okay, so got my 45 cents out of that. I'm happy with that on a Friday. Okay, so I don't really like holding natural gas long or short overnight. Or especially over the weekend, because you just never know. Now, we have a nice cross here. This is positive momentum. You're rallying up here. You're only at 55. You got plenty of room to run. So on upside here, Sunday night, you just watch that key 100-day. And if it gets above that, we have a target at 50-day. And we follow the candles up all the way to that 420 and possible 425 level. Okay. Now, let's take a look here at the indexes. Okay, here we have the indexes, your Dow, your S&P, and your obviously your NASDAQ here, okay? So you look at all these charts here, they all look very, very similar, okay, kind of a situation. NASDAQ looks probably about the best, the same way with the S&P. Now, we look here, let's take a look at the Dow here first, okay? So what we're looking at here is, you can see right there, okay? We're looking right at that 50-day. This is going to be very, very key resistance. This is that 41,313 level. Now, again, if we can close above this, then we're going to be looking as right at the bottom of this candle at that 41,629. Reason being is that's the gap fill on the old candlestick, okay? And then if we can get above that, well, then we're looking for that 200-day at 42,222, okay? So then we'd have to see what the reaction is if it gets there, because the next target is going to be 42,513, okay? Now, here on the downside, well, we'll watch today's low. Obviously, that's 40 on 960. We'll watch yesterday's low. You're looking at 47.05, and then we're going to have this 8-day at 41.1, okay? Now, again, that 8-day is curling up. As long as it holds that 8-day, we're looking really good. So even if this goes sideways but holds this 8-day like it did here, we're looking very good. Now, if that 8-day is lost, your big target is going to be that 39,773 level. Now, you look at the RSI, 56, plenty of room to run. Green over your red, looking very, very nice. Okay, S&P, same thing, okay? All right, so we're above that 50-day and the 8-day is curling up. So a little sideways action isn't going to hurt. Let that 8-day give a chance to catch up here, okay? So upside here, what we're looking at is that 5,700. That was today's high. We're looking at this candle right here. You're looking at 56.95. So we're pretty much right there. Now, your next level is going to be the top of this candle here at 57.32. And then we're going to take a look right there. Your big boy is 57.46. That is your 200-day. Now we get above that, then we have your 100-day, 57.97 sitting right above it. The downside, we just have to watch that 8-day. That's going to be very, very key. 55.82, and then we have that 8-day right underneath it at 55.41. Your 50-day, I should say, is 55.82, and then your 8-day right there at sitting at 55.41. So this is actually looking very good. Look at here, plenty of room to run. Very, very bullish. Momentum to the upside. Chart looking very, very nicely here. Okay. Now let's take a look here at the old NASDAQ. Now you can see here how the NASDAQ is here. It's just like breaking right on up here. Now they had some really good earnings, even though Apple is pretty much selling off today. They had really good numbers. Okay. Amazon had really good numbers. That's pretty much flat. Meta's ripping. Microsoft is ripping. Netflix is ripping. Now on Netflix is sitting at 1157. 1200 is the target on Netflix. Okay. So that's what we're looking for on the Netflix. I'm long. I'm staying long until it possibly can get to that area. Okay. So now here we're looking. Today, we had this high of 1848 level. Okay, so what we're looking is just to the left of the chart here. We're looking at that 17,988. Okay, so right there, that's to be next. So then we can look to the bottom of this candle here. You're looking at 18,170, and then your big target is going to be this 200-day sitting at 18,317. You get above that, we have the 100-day. So you can see every chart here is pretty much the same. Okay, so on the downside here, we do have this gap. So you definitely want to watch this gap if it does sell off. 17,688, there's your gap. And then we look to the top of this candle here, 17,483 is your fill. But we have that 50-day sitting right there, 17,498. Now your 8-day is right below that. That's also going to be support. But again, as this time goes on, this will go higher, cross over that 50-day, and send this up to the 200-day. Now, if this all gets to these 200 days, okay, now we got to see what the reaction is once it gets there. Okay, does it blast through or does it hit it and come back like this scenario right here? Okay, see how this is? It went right up into it. And then what happened the next day? Boom, she sold right on off. So always pay attention. These are your key levels here. Is your 8-day, your blue line, your 21-day, your yellow, your 50 days, your green, your 100 days, your pink, and then we have the red is going to be your 200-day. So you got to be very, very careful. Now, again, 60, plenty of room to run. You're nowhere near overbought. And then we have the green over red. So this is actually looking good, but we got to see what the reaction is going to be if we can hit these 200-day simple moving averages. Okay, let's take a look here now at TQQ and NVDA. Okay, TQQ, my favorite trade. Okay, simple reason. This pays a small dividend, but that's not really what I do it. The key I like about this is the movement on the old ETF here, okay? So when this came all the way down, I'm just going to show you, pick it up a little bit here for you. Okay, so this week here, we came right on down, okay, and what we did, we hit that 50.32. I put already a buy order in there at 50.50, okay? Because I knew that this 8-day was definitely gonna hold, and obviously it did, okay? So I'm long at 50.50, and I'm still long because this thing still has plenty of room to run. You look at the RSI, plenty of room. The green is over the red, plenty of room, okay? So I was looking for the reaction, what we're going to have there at that 50-day at 58.89. We went right into it, but today you notice that we made a higher high, and we're sitting above it. So this is going to be key support. Is what we have to watch is on this 58.85 level, okay? So upside, we can hold that. We hit 60.19 there today. Very, very nice. So your next target is going to be right up here. It's going to be 61.20, and then we just keep working it right on up here. You got 61.81, and then we come up here, 64.23. We'll come up here at 66.99, and then we're going to be looking for that 67.37. But really what we're looking for is this 71.25 retest, your 200-day. So if the NASDAQ gets to that area, this is a 2-time leverage fund that will get to that area of that 71.25 or come pretty damn close, okay? So I'm long, and I'm still going to be holding this. Now, on the downside, we want to watch that 58.85. That's pretty key. And then we want to watch this gap in this fill, okay? 56.63, there's your gap, okay? And then we come down here is your 55.42, your gap, your fill, but we have this 8 estimate at 54.27. Now, as time goes on Sunday night, this will be higher kind of a situation, okay? So we're pushing towards that 50-day, and maybe we can just pop up and maybe hit that 71.25 level. Got plenty of room. This is one of my favorite trades, and it's got all the good stuff in. I've been talking about this one here for months. It's got NVIDIA and Amazon and Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, Google, and Tesla and Costco. You name it, it is in here. And everything that's going to be tech, all the stuff that people want, is right in one trade. Very, very nice trade, okay? So Again, I'm long, and I'm saying long as this holds this 8-day, okay? So even if it comes down, sells down to the 8-day, I'll just keep adding to the position and keep on buying until I can hit that key 200 SMA here. Okay, now here we have NVIDIA, another one of my favorite trades. Now you can see here how we have a downtrending situation where you're high, lower high, lower high, all the way on down. Now it looks like we're starting to break out of the situation, okay, which is nice. Now remember, their earnings aren't coming out, I believe, on the 26th of this month here. So they got a ways to go, okay? So on the downside, this is what we want to watch is this key 50 SMA, 112.44. That's going to be very critical. And then we'll watch the bottom of this candle. This is 111.30. There's your gap. And then we look at your 8-day, okay, sitting at 109. And then we have your fill sitting at 108.92, and then we have your 21-day at 105.72. But as long as we're holding this 50-day, this is looking really good. Now, just because we have a gap, that doesn't mean it's going to fill it the same day. Just like we have here. So we have a gap up. That doesn't mean eventually it'll get filled, just not today. Okay, so now what we're watching on the upside is we're watching this price channel at that 115.10 level, okay? So you bring that right across, and that's the top of this candle. See, that's very easy. So this is why you use the price channels very, very nicely. Now, that's what we're looking for next is that 115. You got to crack above that. If we do, then we can start going to this candle here. You're looking at that 118 level. Okay, we'll come up here. You're looking at that 121. And then we have a 122 level. But this is what we're going to be looking for is going to be that 123.58, your 100-day, and that realistically, that 125 level, which is your 200 SMA here. Okay, so what you want to watch is that 50-day on the bottom. If that's lost, we have the 8-day. As long as this 8-day is holding, you can buy, add to your position, because she's going to be going higher. Okay, RSI, plenty of room to run, green over your red, good momentum to the upside. This is all looking very, very nicely. Okay, so again, just trade these charts because everything you need is right there. Just watch that 8-day on a closing basis. As long as the price is above, we're good. Okay, same way with TQQs. As long as that 8-day is holding, the price is above it on a closing basis, this is very, very good. Now again, these are also trades. These are not just buy and hold. Now, I bought this and held it, but I'm also trading this during the day here too. Okay, so remember, I'm holding 5,000 shares from 50/50. Okay, but I'm also trading another 1,500 shares every day on the situation. Okay, because this is my favorite trade, and I just think it's just going to go higher. And just like the tech can kind of blow out numbers. There's no recession in tech. They don't really care about this tariff situation. They'll work around it. And again, if this tariff situation gets settled out, you're going to have a rip your face off rally, and you're going to hit this 200-day like there's just no tomorrow. Okay, that's what I got for you. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will see you Sunday night. Remember, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.